Hey y'all, welcome back to Jerry's Kitchen, and today we're going to learn how to make a pot roast. Something you can leave in the oven all day long and you don't even need to worry about it until it's done, pretty much. So let's get started with pot roast. Okay, so you will need some kind of a roasting pan. There's a smaller one I have here and there's a larger one. I'm going to use the larger one because I have actually two roasts I'm going to make. And one, I like to make a lot because it finishes a lot. If you don't have a roasting pan, it's just something to cover the roast with. You can also use a crock pot. You'll need a pan because you will do some frying at the very beginning, along with some vegetable oil. So this is a chuck pot roast, as you can see. It's well marbled with fat in there. That's what you want to see. If it's too lean, it's not going to be juicy. You can also get a shoulder roast. This is beef though. We're doing a beef roast. Okay, so shoulder roast, chuck roast, any of those will work. You'll need some flour, just all-purpose flour. Doesn't need to be special. Salt and pepper, our good old friends. You'll need some celery and carrots and an onion or two, and any other vegetables you want to put in there, but these are the basics. I am going to add mushrooms to mine just because I love it. I love mushrooms. Okay, you don't have to have mushrooms though. You'll need some chicken broth. You could use vegetable broth or beef broth. I prefer chicken broth. That's just me. Okay, you'll also need a packet of this onion recipe soup here, and potatoes. Okay, and that's about it. Okay, to start preparing, go ahead and put your oven on to a low setting. I would say 285. That's pretty good. That's pretty low. Also, you want to you're going to start frying your roast at the very beginning. So I would put it on like medium high and let that heat up. Put some vegetable oil. I usually add the vegetable oil after it's already kind of hot so it doesn't overheat. And this has been heating for a little while, so maybe about that much. Okay, so first you're going to cover your meat with flour. So the way I like to do this is I put some flour in a gallon bag, and I kind of do the shake and bake method. Those of you who remember shake and bake back from the 80s, put the piece of meat inside and kind of seal it, and then shake it up. Right, that gives it a thorough coating of flour. Should look like this, nice and white. Wow. And since I'm making two of them, I'm going to do another one. I'm doing a double batch. You don't have to. Okay, it's that easy. And it minimizes a mess when you do it in the bag. Okay, and then just put it aside until your oil gets hot enough to fry them with. Okay, so now I got a hot skillet, maybe too hot. And we want to put these steaks, grab this. Be very careful with hot oil, it can burn you. There we go. And we're braising these. We're just kind of cooking the outside of them for a while, and this will help seal in the juices of the roast. Okay, and also, you know, the flour kind of gives it a little texture. So we're going to keep these in, I don't know, for a minute or so, then flip them around. It's better to use metal because plastic is going to melt inside of that. Okay, so let's go ahead and turn it around. And I'm using a cast iron skillet. I think this is better than a regular skillet because you get an even, a more even temperature all the way around. There we go. Again, we're just braising the outside. This is actually, we're not really cooking it. Okay. Looking good, looking good. I have my roasting pan here, and I'm going to put them in the roasting pan. And I think they're about done. Now I'm going to turn this on its side. You want to braise all the way around on both sides and all the sides, just to get all the juices get sealed in. Okay, I think this one's ready. I'll put it inside here. This one needs a little bit more. I used my fingers, which I shouldn't have done. You really have a fork to work with, because you don't want to burn your fingers. Also, I have very long tongs. You don't want to use short ones because this stuff can really splash up on your hand. Okay, this is almost finished. But that's what basically it should look like, and then put them in your roasting pan. Okay, so next, get your vegetables ready. I already pre-cut these up. You peel the carrots, and I cut the ends off. And celery, I just cut the ends off and then cut them in half. And then the onion, I just kind of cut into quarters like this. You can chop these up if you want. I like putting these in whole. That's my preference. You could put more or less of any of this. If you don't like carrots, you know, you can have that many. I like to have a lot of flavor in mine, so I put quite a bit. I'm also going to add mushrooms. So what do we do with these vegetables? Okay, so we have our braised roast already. I have my vegetables ready. What I like to do is put some of these celery underneath these pieces of meat, just to give it a little more flavor underneath. Maybe some onion. If I can get that done. A little onion under there. Just a little bit. Okay. And the rest, I kind of just put it around. I'm gonna put these all around, some on top. Kind of like a celebration of vegetables all around. Okay. And actually, I'm going to move these vegetables off for a second because I forgot one thing. Our onion dip, okay, and our chicken broth. So we're going to pour this chicken broth all in here. How much do we use? Oh, until you get enough juice to where it's about that much on the bottom. I need a little bit more because that was only half. So let me do a little more. Okay, that's great. Okay, so I got about this much on the bottom of the pan. Then I get my Lipton soup. And I'm going to put this all on top of my roast. It's going to make it taste really, really good. Okay, maybe a little salt and pepper. That's the opposite way. Okay. Okay, I think that's enough. Then I'm putting my vegetables back on again. Should look kind of like that. I'm not the cleanest guy in the world, but you know what? It all comes out good in the end. Okay, my oven's already at 285. I'm going to cover this. I'm not putting my potatoes in yet. That goes on in the end. So we'll get to that later. I'm going to open this up, and in it goes. And I'm not even going to look at it for about 3 hours. So you got 3 hours, and I'll be back. Okay, so it's been 3 hours. Let's check it. Oh boy. Okay, look at this. You can tell this is just about done because it's very soft. We're gonna cook it for 1 more hour because I need to put the potatoes in. I didn't peel the potatoes. I like the skin on them in a roast. I got 3 large potatoes and cut them up. So we're gonna put those in, and I'm also gonna put mushrooms just because I like mushrooms in there. All right, so here we have it. And we're gonna move these potatoes a little bit around. I might have too many potatoes in here actually. It's okay. You can have as little or as much as you want. You don't even have to have potatoes in here. But, you know, in my opinion, what's a roast without some potatoes? Have I said the word potatoes enough? Okay, and then we're gonna put mushrooms in here. Put the lid back on. And put it back in the oven. We're putting it back in for another hour. There we go. And we're gonna raise the temperature to about 315. Okay, there we go. And 1 more hour, we're gonna check it out. Okay, so it's been an hour. Let's check our roast and potatoes. Man, that smells good. Let's check it out. Wow, oh my goodness. Let's see if these potatoes are done. Oh man, that goes in nice and smooth. So it only took an hour for these potatoes. And of course it's drowning in mushrooms. And this meat is totally soft. It's good. It came out really good. So how long did that take? Put it in 3 hours, put the potatoes in, another hour, you're done. So very easy. And once you make, and people hear about this, they end up showing up, like my daughter here. So good luck making your own pot roast.